Welcome to the Space and Grace podcast. I am your host, Tanisha Harris, and I am your CHEO, Chief Honesty and Encouragement Officer. Here at Space and Grace, we focus on healing, laughing, thriving, and loving. And we do that by granting ourselves and others the space and grace to evolve in very practical ways. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Hello. Welcome. Guys, I am always so grateful that you're here with me on this journey. Your support is never taken lightly. And as always, we are on this journey together. I am healing right along with you. So, thank you. Okay, today is a good one. Today, I want to talk about lessons from failed relationships. And this includes workplaceships, situationships, friendships. This actually may turn out to be a 2-part series. So let's see. Now, we all have experienced a failed relationship or ship of some kind, right? Like I said, relationship, friendship, situationship. We've experienced a level of failure in these ships to some degree, whether to our own faults, by our own faults, or the faults of others. And it hurts. But we come out on the other side better. Trust me. Now, before I jump into what I've learned, let me say this. Relationships are the way in which two or more people are connected. And different relationships require different things. We get to decide what those things are. Now, personally, I do believe some criteria for relationships are necessary. Some may be biblical, but regardless of what your criteria are and how you connect with them, the person you're with should be on the same page with you. Now, some of what I talk about today is true for intimate relationships, and some are true for friendships or workplace ships or both, all of the above. But because there's some overlap, I just kind of combined everything. And like I said earlier, this may be a 2-part series, guys. I feel like I have a lot to say. Also, let me be clear. I am a firm believer that if you cannot love yourself and be a decent person in some of your simpler relationships, then you may not be able to bring value to a relationship, an intimate relationship. If you have difficulty being kind or consistent, if you having difficulty being emotionally immature, you really need to think about what you expect to bring to a relationship. Okay, jumping right in. Lesson number 1 that I've learned from failed ships, relationship, workplace ship, friendship, all the ships. Age is a number, guys. However, it does not define someone's love for you. It does, however, gives you a starting point or whether you and the person will have some things in common. I've dated guys younger than me, maybe even by 7 years or so. And I've dated men older than me, even the oldest being by 7 or 8 years. And there were things that I had in common with the older men. We could talk professionally, discuss current events. We were able to eat and dine at several different places, but none of that meant he was ready to commit. None of that meant that he was ready to be in a relationship. And the younger guys, they're fun and sweet, wanted to be there for me. But most of the time, I had to help him understand where I was currently in my life, whether that was not being able to stay up late because of a big presentation at work the next day, or even preparing for graduate school. This is what I've learned. Let's not think that because a person has hit a certain age that he or she is ready to be in a relationship. But let's not be too vain that we miss a very eligible younger person either. Now, let's be safe, legal, and mature, but we should really look at a person's heart and see if it aligns with their actions. Lesson number 2: words need action, and actions need words. You often hear that actions speak louder than words, and they do, but so many times that can be used out of manipulation. I've dated men that said they loved me, but they would never show it. And I've dated men to do things for me while simultaneously doing the same things for other women. Truth is, a person will be vocal about what they see for the relationship, and their actions would align. It's just called character. How can we say your word is your bond and actions speak louder than words as if they're mutually exclusive? No, what I've learned is that words and actions are harmonious. They actually happen very well together. Okay, lesson number 3: relationships are work. Now, listen, I get the sentiment that relationships are work, but I'm going to be honest. I despise when people say that because what it really means is that no one wants to work. We've taken the word work and turned it into something negative, as if we didn't work to get all the good things in our lives, as if putting some effort and intention into something consistently is a bad thing. Here's the deal for me: work in any relationship is a commitment, and you commit to the things you value. If you don't see or recognize the value in a relationship with me, then ultimately you won't put forth any work. And before anyone starts to say it should be natural, everything should flow, yes, I do believe that there should be an effortless connection, but to keep it and maintain it requires intention. And I want a healthy, sustainable relationship, guys. Okay, you're gonna keep going? I have 2 more lessons. Lesson number 4: consistency. Okay, everyone has their thoughts on consistency. Here are mine. Consistency is the achievement of a level of performance that does not vary greatly in quality over time. Okay, let's think about it in friendships. I have friends who I talk to daily, weekly, monthly, even quarterly, on the phone, FaceTime, Instagram, whatever. But we've created our own levels of consistency based on our lives. We're no longer young women in college. We're moms and wives and girlfriends. We're doctors and nurses and accountants and engineers and teachers and stay-at-home moms and public health professionals and so much more. Therefore, our levels of consistency have changed over the years. But because we value each other and we value the friendship, we make sure to identify a new level of consistency that works for us. Relationships, right? So we tend to meet our new partners and respond to text messages quickly or answer all the calls. We show up as our representatives and not our authentic selves. Then all those things we did and all those things we said in the beginning of the relationship tend to dissipate after some time. Why do we do this? Just start off authentic. It's easier to be consistent when you're just being yourself. There will be some natural evolution in the relationship, but remember, consistency is quality over time. Be who you say you are, do what you say you're going to do. Just my thoughts, guys. Okay, lesson number 5 that I've learned that's important to me is reciprocity, an exchange, a mutual exchange. I started off with this small, quick little definition about reciprocity because I wanted you to understand exactly what it is to me. And now let me tell you what it is not. It is not based off weight or score. It is not you do this for me, so I do the exact same for you. But it is showing the other person you appreciate them by valuing them in ways that show you care. For example, in relationships, maybe it's making sure your guy knows you care by playing video games with him, taking interest in things he likes. And maybe he makes sure to show you he cares by keeping up with the maintenance of your car or leaving cute notes in your lunch bag. I love a cute little note with a little scribbly writing because, guys, y'all handwriting. Okay, another topic. Identify what reciprocity looks like for you in your relationship. Now, disclaimer. As I am recording this, it is technically February. You guys are going to hear it in March. I'm pretty sure we're still going to be in a pandemic. Sometimes in these ships, sometimes one person has to hold up the other during a difficult season. And honestly, guys, that happens without a pandemic, and that's okay. So maybe reciprocity isn't at its highest, but supporting one another also builds up your ship. In all the ships, relationships, workplace ships, friendships, identify what is needed for you. What do you need? What do you value? And communicate those things. And communicate when those things change over time. If both parties are aware and honest, then the ship can grow. Okay, I've talked a lot. And I definitely have more lessons learned. So let's look out for part 2. But as always, I appreciate you so much for listening. Thank you so very much. And if you have any questions or any topic ideas or anything you want to challenge my thoughts on, email me at spaceandgracepodcast@gmail.com. That's space, AND, grace, podcast@gmail.com. So that's it, guys. That wraps up today's episode. Remember, Space and Grace focuses on healing, laughing, thriving, and loving. We want to show the beauty and strength in offering space and grace to every aspect of our lives. Y'all ready? Let's do this.